Hi everybody, Paul here from Flying Colors Painting, and welcome to our frequently asked questions portion of our website. And today I am going to talk about asbestos and lead-based paints. Older homes that used lath and plaster for the walls, and these are networks of small wooden sort of slats that have plaster applied to them. You'll see them a lot in older homes that are from the 40s and 30s and sometimes into the 50s and 60s. A lot of those plaster walls and ceilings are mixed with asbestos. It was a popular product to throw into those. I guess it was considered a filler. You'll see a lot of asbestos in floor tile that's really older from back, like I said, back in the 60s and 70s. Sometimes you'll see them in ceiling tiles as well. So there is asbestos around still. And, asbestos exhibits no significant health risk if materials are tightly bound in products and are in good condition. So if they're sealed behind walls and floorboards, if they're isolated in the attic and left undisturbed, you'll be fine. As when you start ripping apart walls and you're doing some kind of renovation, pulling up existing tiles that are on the floor, the dust that can be produced by, and believe me, on lath and plaster work, when you're demolishing a wall, it's so dusty and it's a horrible mess. But you really need to be careful. Consult and make sure that your contractor is removing and is aware, and ask him what he's doing about any asbestos that may be there. If you think there's any chance that there could be asbestos products in your home, in your renovation and insulation work, make sure that your contractor is prepared for that. On the other side of that, we do a lot of installation of, if I'm fixing cracks that are in walls, that are lath and plaster, and I'm scraping back a crack, I will wet down the crack and make sure that there's no dust being raised from that. I'll also be respirated up when I'm doing that sort of work, so that there's no asbestos being in the dust in the air. So that's the extent of the asbestos exposure that we have, is just on that. Now, lead-based paints, they were developed prior to the 60s. And what the reason for lead in paint was, is it holds oil-based paints better. So it's the pigment that makes the color is what the lead is. So the lead has a yellow tint to it, blue, green, to make all these different colors, and apparently it worked really well, except for the cancer, and the serious health risks. Mostly, what we saw a lot of is children eating paint chips that have peeled off. It develops nerve and brain damage from eating paint chips, containing lead. Mercury was another banned product back in the day as well too, and fish were dying, mercury poisoning. So we've cleaned up the environment on that side of things, and there are test kits available online to see if you have lead-based paint, and I'm going to put a link at the bottom of this video. Certified companies to remove any lead-based paints. It's a whole procedure. We don't provide that at all, but here's as well, I'm going to put a link to certified removal companies in Ottawa, as well as asbestos removal companies as well too. So I hope that explains a little bit about asbestos and lead-based paints. Now, oil-based paints, since the 2000s, oil-based products are not available for house paints. Commercial and cement floor paints are available in that, and we've been transitioning to latex from all the oil-based products, you know, applied prior to the 2000s. So I still come across a lot of oil-based houses. So we have to put oil-based primer on it and then 2 coats of latex paint over it to change it over safely. We're not concerned with there's no harm to having oil-based products on your walls at all. So if the primer isn't applied, then latex, if you just put latex directly over oil, it's not going to stick properly. So there are some prepping procedures which need to be done. You know, here's a note of interest. Oil-based primers are very toxic. You know, when we apply them, you know, sometimes we will need to do, if we're going in and restoring a house after a fire, we have to apply this shellac-based primer to dissipate the smell. And believe me, it's a horror story. You know, this shellac-based primer, we have to have fans in the window, we have to have vents. We're fully respirator, got full glasses. We've got suits, hoods, gloves. Our spray equipment is, you know, it atomizes oil base and it just smells like horrible. We have to step out often and you know, breathe. These products, there's a considerable extra charge for applying this kind of stuff. We don't do that for nothing, and it's you know, it's not a great job to do. You know, the way we look at it, not every single job is sunshine and roses, you know, and that's definitely no sunshine or roses when we're doing that kind of thing. So, so we take very special care in making sure that we're safe. But with oil-based products, you don't have anything to worry about aside from being in the house while oil-based products are being applied. You don't want to be around that. You want to leave for sure, and bring your pets too, because they don't want to be around either for that. So hopefully this video has shone some light on what's available and what's still out there, you know, and things to be aware of. So my name is Paul, and I'm from Flying Colors Painting, and that is how we roll.